All right, today a little cloudy day, huh? You can see cloudy. I Well, you'll not make the difference because you'll not make out the difference because I normally change the settings so that it becomes a little bright. Otherwise, on the camera it looks very dark. Maybe if I show you one day settings before, and then I show you after, like then you'll see. For example, this is how it looks before, and then after. Okay. Anyway, uh, many of my clients now are getting jobs. Okay. Uh, on the good side is they are getting jobs. At least it's better than last year when the pandemic just started and companies were in a panic mode. So that time it was a little harder. Now they are actually getting job offers or interviews. That's a good news. But the bad news is the salary is very challenging. And now I'm actually getting people asking me, or rather taking paid sessions for how to negotiate a salary. Because, when you go for the interview, the question is asked, what's the question? Okay, what is your salary expectations? What is your salary expectations? Now, that's a very tough question. Now, it's like they're asking you, so what is your salary expectation? Now, you don't know whether they'll pay you more. Maybe, for example, you want 10, okay, but maybe their budget is 20. So if you say, okay, I want 11, maybe they'll say yes. So that fear is a shit. If I ask for 2 less, maybe they'll say yes. And then the other side is, if you ask for too much, then they'll think, oh, what the fuck, this guy, is over our budget. It's basically you've priced yourself out of the deal. Okay. So if their budget is 10 and you say, oh, 15, and then they say, okay, we'll get back to you, and finish. You have lost the job opportunity, especially when you want a job opportunity. Okay. So the question is, how do you answer this question? Okay. So the question is, how do you answer this question? Okay. The second one is, let's say you ask what you're getting, and they ask you, what is your expectation? And then they say, oh, listen, that's way beyond our budget. Our budget is so and so. So what do you do then? And finally, I think there is also that question, what if you say the salary and they say yes immediately, and then you feel, fuck, I should have asked for more. Like there was this one particular candidate who wanted to negotiate a salary but said little bit low. I think it was 40,000, and somehow after doing a little bit of thinking, the person realized, oh, they were ready to offer 52 or 53. And then the person got in touch with lawyer. What do I do now? Should I accept it at 40 when I could have gotten 52 or 53? So I'll give you all three scenarios. These are actual real life examples. Okay. Okay. See, now, the first thing is negotiating a salary is not standard. Huh? Okay. It's not standard. It depends on the company. It depends who's negotiating with you. It depends on your personality. It depends on your role. It depends on, can you actually sell yourself? It depends on the market conditions. So there are plenty of variables. So my first disclaimer to you is, don't use what I say as a one size fits all for all situations. Okay, it will not work that way. It's just like taking medicine. Different people have different dosages for different kinds of, your age group, whether you have sugar, whether you have blood pressure. So please use common sense. Okay, now the first one. The first question is, what is your salary expectations? Now just imagine you've gone through the interview, everything is fine. You made it the first interview, second interview, final interview. And now you are in front of the main person and the person says, okay, so what is your salary expectation? Now see, here it all depends who's the person asking you. Is the person a HR guy? Is the person a commercial guy? Or is the person the owner of the company? This is what you need to keep in mind. And yes, the age factor. Is the person young? Is the person old? Okay. Normally the advice I give people is, if the person's old with lots of experience, it's very hard to bluff, bullshit, or take them for a ride. Very hard. Okay, if the person's old and the person is, because experience, they have experience. Now, if the person is low ranked, that is just an HR or a commercial manager, they are just following instructions from the top management. The boss will tell them, see, listen, my budget is, 10 to 20,000 or 10 to 15,000. Try to squeeze the maximum. Try to get it, within 10,000 range. So they have been given a budget. They are not the final decision-making authority. However, if it's the owner can increase the budget or decrease the budget. But that guy will be the hardest to convince. That guy will be almost like impossible to negotiate, because they are hardcore business people. For them, they are even prepared to let go. They don't give a fuck. Because business is like that. There are days where you don't have any business, and then there are days where you have super business, and then there are months of drought. So they have seen the best and worst, and they know for a fact they can always get a replacement. And even if they can't get a replacement, they wouldn't mind. So it's very hard to, take out that extra from them, unless, of course, you're exceptional. So how do you answer what is your salary expectation? See, what I tell my clients is, after I know the situation, after I know who's the person, who they are meeting with, how many interviews, what is the position, I study their profile, even their profile. Are you good at negotiating? Are you good at bluffing? Are you good at bullshitting? Is it a boy or girl? Is it young or old? Are you at the end of your career, like 50 to 60, in that range? Are you at your peak at your 30s? Have you had a job for many years? Like, are you currently employed or unemployed? Do you have enough money in the bank that you don't have to worry? So after I gauge all these aspects and I trim it down, then I give them the advice. But generally, the safest bet is, whatever salary you're getting, let's assume you're getting 10, okay? It's okay to bluff between 10 to 12, okay? If you're getting 10,000. The reason why I'm saying it's okay to bluff, the reason being is, if it's the owner of the company, or it's a industry where everyone's networked, they can easily find out the salary. I've known cases where an owner of a company, okay, has literally called up one of the engineers or one of the people and said, hi, this is so-and-so. And they're like, oh, sir. Oh, hello, sir. How are you? And they're like, listen, what is the salary of your people, or what is the salary of this guy? They can easily get that information. So if you're bluffing, they can find out. So if you're getting a salary of 10, you can bluff and say, my salary I used to get, or in my previous company, I was getting 10 plus 1, 2, 3. Okay. That is if you're getting. If you want to bluff, you can go, I would say, roughly a 10% range. Oh, spider. See, spider move. Hey, he was acting like dead. Okay. So 10% you can bullshit. Okay. And then obviously they will, when they finalize the salary, they'll say, okay, if you're getting 10,000, we can offer you 11,000 or something like that. However, one thing I'll caution you, if you are getting 10,000, don't agree for 10,000 only. Don't agree for 10,500. I mean, what the fuck is that? What, you changed your job just for 10%? See, the problem in the Middle East, at least in the Middle East, once you sign a contract, you're stuck with them for the next 3 years. And please, never ever fall for the bullshit that they give you. Oh, we will increase your salary after reviewing your performance. We'll increase it after 6 months. They never do that. generally, I can assure you this, they'll give you false hope so that you join immediately. And then when the time comes, always the boss is out, the boss is busy, the market is bad, or we are not happy with your performance. They'll give you all bullshit. So agree only what they are ready to offer, Future is always future. Or if they give it in the contract, we guarantee that will increase after 6 months, irrespective whatever the conditions are. Because otherwise, if they say we'll increase your salary after 6 months based on your performance appraisal, you can be rest assured the performance appraisal will always be favoring the management. Okay, because you need to cut down overheads. So the first one is, what is your expectation if you want to use what you were getting previously? Say what you're getting plus minus 10%. Okay, there are many cases whereby companies in the Middle East have agreed for 10, but because of the downturn they are paying 6 or they are paying 8. In some cases they make you work 15 days and 15 days no work. So all that goes on. Okay, now if in case you don't want to mention what you were previously getting and you want to mention a little bit more, let's say you have traveled from one country to another country, and let's say you are whichever country you are in, USA, India, Pakistan, and now you come to the Middle East. Now there is a very strong tendency that people overinflate the expectations. I've got so many guys from India who are getting 10, who want 20. So many guys in USA who are getting like 15, but they are taxable, they have to pay tax. So obviously 35 or 45% goes. In some cases like Denmark, 55% goes. Hey chicken, how are you? Hey, hello, chicken, yeah, chicken. I'm an asshole. Okay, so they like to overinflate and give a higher amount. Now I'll tell you what the problem here is. Pre-internet, pre-social media days, it was very easy to bluff and throw out numbers. But today, whatever number you give, they know what you are getting in India. It is 100% people know what salaries they pay in India, very low. They know for a fact in USA, even if they pay big salaries, you have a taxable income. And here you're coming for, tax-free money. So don't assume that you're smarter than them. They know for a fact. And the thing that you'd be competing against is people with experience. They always prefer people with experience, with contacts, connections in the market, than a fresher. Okay. So now, when you want to throw a big number, like what are your salary expectations? You want to throw a big number. So what do? Okay, here's the answer. First is, I think the first question that I generally ask people is, how badly do you want the job? Okay, how badly? Are you desperate? Do you really need the job? Can you stay 6 months without a job? Are you comfortable that way? Do you have enough money in the bank? Are you getting other job offers? Or is your skill level so good that the market knows? Or, do you have interviews in the pipeline? So based on all these questions, and yes, based on the person's personality, how they look, how they talk, how they communicate, then based on that, I tell them that, give a number which you're prepared that if they give you anything below this, you don't want it. Okay? Let's say, for example, you can stay without a job for 6 months. Throw out a high number. Because if you get, you get. You don't get, no problem. At least you have time to wait. But if you are desperate, if you badly need a job, you have no money, or let's say you have to pay bills and situation is tough, then I strongly recommend that you don't take the risk. Because if you're going through a tough time, pretty sure other people are also going through a tough time. If you're not getting job offers, that means plenty of people are not getting job offers. So coming back to the same example, if you are getting 10, don't put out a number like 15 and expect them to negotiate to 12. If you are getting 10, say I'm looking at 11. Okay, but one thing, keep this in mind. Once you give out a number, don't remember this much, like whatever number you give them, they will, especially if it's a business owner, he will negotiate. 100% he'll negotiate. Okay. I've always told people, even if you tell 10 what you're getting, they'll say my budget is 8. Even if you say 8, they'll say our budget is 6. You say half the salary, you are getting 10 and now you want 5, he'll still negotiate for 4. There are a lot of shameless people like that. Okay. Especially nationality. If you look at our Indian Pakistanis, they like to squeeze to the maximum. If it's a foreigner, he at least might have the decency because he knows, okay, minimum wage, I don't want to, people will not stick. So it depends on the education. I'm not saying all Indians. There are some people who are educated abroad, okay, and they believe in, okay, I'll give a fair this thing. So now, fair compensation. So if you're badly in need of a job, remember this much, whatever number you throw out there, he's going to negotiate. So always have a small buffer where below which you'll not agree. Okay. Now, another thing which you need to keep in mind is once after you agree, once after you state an amount, it's very hard to tell them, no, listen, I have decided, this and that. So be sure, make sure that you do your homework before you go. Don't rattle off this and that. And here's the thing, if you're not sure, let's assume you're not sure, then just tell them, I need to think and get back to you. There are a couple of people I need to discuss. That is, if you have a spouse or especially ladies. I tell ladies, I'm going to tell them that I would like to discuss this with my family and get back to you. Don't say I'll discuss with my husband, because then it'll show that you're not an independent person. If you're a man, you can say, I need to think about it. Let me discuss with people who are important to me and get back to you. That's fair enough. Okay. Always ask for time if you're not sure. That's another thing which I tell people. Never ever be under pressure to say yes. Okay. But now comes the question, what if you said an amount and now you regret because you realize, oh shit, at the heat of the moment, I said yes. Okay. This had happened to my client who was in the range of 40, but then realized they could have asked for 50, 55. Okay. So once again, evaluated the client, position, company, all these factors. Who did they speak to? How many interviews? I checked the person's communication skills. How many jobs in the pipeline? What is the profile? Okay, job region. Okay. Finally, after that, I told the person, see, listen, communicate to this individual. Okay, communicate to this individual that in the spur of the moment, you had said yes, but after carefully evaluating the job roles and responsibilities, you have realized that it's a lot more. It's a lot more than expected. And say, I'm sorry, but this is what I would be happy with. Because if I accept this, I don't think I'll be very happy, especially given the challenges that the job role provides. So I hope you understand. And I'll tell you, majority of the cases, in all cases, they'll go back to the manager and say, oh, this is what they said. And, we had agreed for 40, but now the person says, due to the job responsibilities and all that, I'm getting at this much. Don't say, I'm getting other offers. If you say I'm getting other offers, they know it's a bluff. Even if you're getting, it's not good to say that. The reason being is, then they'll say, okay, fine, you can take the other offers, because it makes it look disrespectful. Okay, don't say I have better options or I have other offers. Then they say, okay, go take the other offer. Okay, now, what happens if, they say, okay, what is your salary expectation? And you want the job badly. You really want the job. Okay. I think over here, you need to be smart as to not to make yourself sound desperate. Because if you make yourself sound desperate, they will squeeze you. So keep your poise, keep your self-respect. Tell them, like, this is a good suggestion I'll give you. Tell them I was getting 10. Okay, let's assume you're getting 10. Okay, but due to the current market conditions, I'm willing to negotiate. Okay, but however, not to the point where I can't afford to pay my bills or support my lifestyle. Or so I have told you 10. Tell them I am getting 10. I would like to know what you're ready to offer. If they still say no, what is your last? Just tell them, see, I don't want it to be that whatever I say, you'll go lowest. You give me something fair. Give me something fair. Say, I told you I'm getting 10. They'll say, no, but I want to know what is your last. Say 9,500. Okay. So if they still pressurize you, because, the minute a company says, no, give me your last, means they are the type who are penny pinchers. And that is not a healthy organization to be with. Okay. And many a times, remember, just getting the job is not the solution. Sometimes getting a job if you get a job with the wrong person, it'll actually mess up your life. So be careful there. So, just tell them, see, I was getting 10. Okay. What is what is it that you can offer me? And if they come back to you, what is your last? Say, just tell them, please, just because I'm in need doesn't mean you squeeze me out to the max. Sometimes you need to really blurt it out and tell them, because I hate such individuals who are employees but trying to squeeze you to the max. And you can tell them, see, if you give me too low, I don't think I'll be too happy, and I might, just work for a few months, and then eventually, if I get something better, I might leave. So give me something where I would be happy to stay with you for at least the duration of my contract. See, you need to communicate. You need to keep your self-respect. You need to open your mouth. Don't be like a slave and just keep quiet for everything. Okay. One final piece of advice that I want to give you. See, never go to an interview without preparing. Okay. Never go to an interview without preparing. Never go to an interview without knowing all the possibilities and probabilities of what they might throw at you. And you may assume that you're very smart. You may assume that, you've mastered the art of negotiating. Let me give you a shocking reality. The guy who's sitting across the desk, he has been doing this for very, very many years in most cases. And if it's the owner, like they always tell you, don't teach your father how to fuck. They don't give a fuck, man. They've been doing this every day with vendors, suppliers, salespeople. They negotiate high-level negotiations. You can't think that you're smarter than them. That is why they are the owner and you're an employee. So just keep in mind that you do your homework, you practice, and most important, if I could give one last tip, know your take it or leave it salary. It's very, very important. Even for me, there are so many people who negotiate with me my rates, so many people who negotiate my services based on individual. I know the take it or leave it price. Like if it's a really big contract, $10,000, or I can think about something. Just a piddly small little thing, and they negotiate. See, the person who will suffer is not me. The person who will suffer is you. If I am asking, let's say, for example, 197, and the person negotiates and eats my brains, I'll not give him my best. I might give him chuma just 40%, or, out of spite, I might even give him like, just don't give a fuck and do it fast. Have there been cases like that? Yes, absolutely. I don't want to portray myself as a saint. I'll give you one example. There's been this female who from 8 months chewing my brains about my rates. I think I'd quoted her at around $700 or $800. She chewed my brains. I said, okay, 500. Chewed my brains, didn't stop. Finally I asked her, what are you looking for? Said 300. I was like, just imagine 800 is what I'm quoting. 300 is what you're offering. Finally, I kept quiet and said yes. You'll be surprised to know on the day of the payment, this bitch from 300 sends me 200 and something. And then she says, oh, there were the charges for the bank and charges for the teller and charges of this and that. Okay. Now I kept quiet. See, I could have said no, fuck off and all that. I just kept quiet. Okay. So I said, are you going to pay me the see, Loy, listen, I don't have this thing. This is what I can offer you. So I said, okay, fine. Yes, did I give the person the 100%? No. In this particular case, because the person tried to cheat me, I give the same treatment back. And you can be rest assured, the resume that was offered, the services that were offered, the consultation, was absolutely, I would be ashamed. It's like a tattoo artist. If you piss him off and negotiate and bitch about paying him money, he will do a shitty job, such a shitty job. And it's going to be a curse because it'll permanently be on your body. So, the point I'm trying to make here is, don't, whatever rate that you're giving, remember this much. If you're not happy, you'll not do a good job. And then if you bullshit and, see, this is another side. If you ask for way too much and you're not worth that, you can be rest assured they will terminate you, because there's always a probationary period. So be careful when you are asking for the rate. Make sure that you know the take it or leave it rate. I normally, when I get into any deal, I draw the line between take it or leave it. That is why if I'm not happy with a deal, I don't agree to it. This example that I gave you of this female, this is just a very one-off case. I normally don't like such incidents. I don't like such clients, because end of the day, I feel I'm harming my own integrity. I feel I'm harming my own brand. I mean, I look at each work of mine as an artistic manifestation of who I am. And if this person were to show this resume, oh, see this Loy made, and this is less than the best, I would feel ashamed about it. So that is why client, I give them the best. However, in this lady's case, I have all the emails and correspondences where she was playing around with me. If anyone says, Loy, oh, this shit did you do? I have the proof to prove it to them. Like, I quoted at 800, the person paid me 200, even after agreeing at a throwaway price. I don't like to be cheated. So I didn't cheat the person, but I didn't give 100%. So, bottom line, what I want to tell you, when you're going for a salary negotiation, make sure that not you know what you're worth. Rather, make sure that you know your take it or leave it package. Take it or leave it. That below that, 1 penny less, it's not worth it. That's how you should go for a negotiation. And that's the best thing. Because at the end of the day, I'll tell you one thing. Companies, when they agree, whatever rate you will agree, fine. But work will never get less. Work will only get more. The number of hours will only increase. And they'll always make you do more than what they've agreed to pay you for. So keep that in mind. So I hope this added some value. If you have some questions, you can put them down below. Let me know if I didn't cover, and maybe I'll answer it and let you know. Okay? You guys take care.